So it's time for another story time with Devon. Today, it's a romantic story. So, if you're a regular follower, you know that my husband and I, we are up for America's Favorite Couple from Variety Magazine. And we are in the top 10 right now. And we're hoping to continue on for that to happen. I need your help. So if you could look at my bio or in the content, the text content of this post, and find the link so that way you could go and vote for us, we would really appreciate that. We want to be in the top 5. Um, but today I'm going to tell you a romantic story about our lives, and it is pretty sweet. So, right after undergrad, uh, he and I moved into an apartment together in Omaha, Nebraska. And he was like managing a shoe store at Journeys, and I was a manager at a Spencer Gifts. I know, terribly romantic. And financially, we weren't doing great. We were trying to pay student loan debt and trying to make ends meet. We were living in the wealthiest part of town. And now I laugh at it. Like our rent was like $565 a month. But at the time, that was a lot of money. And we were struggling to pay that every single month. And so things were just kind of rough. Anyway, I had moved in with him right after I graduated from college, and this is like the early 2000s. And so I had been there since the spring, and we had been through the winter together, and February had come, and it was Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, Valentine's Day fell right before we were going to get paid this time. And so, like, the payday was like a couple of days later. And he was very sweet. He asked if I wanted anything, how we should celebrate. And we had made plans to, like, have a date the weekend after the Friday that we were getting paid. And had plans for that, but he wanted to do something special on the Valentine's Day, and I couldn't really think of anything. But then I realized that I wanted to do my nails, and so I asked if maybe we could afford to get some top coat because I was all out of top coat, and it helps your manicure stay on better. And so he proceeded, with unbeknownst to me, to find enough change in the house. This is back when people still used cash for some things. So he had some change around the house and his car, whatever, to get enough money to try and buy me some top coat. Now, he did drive to work, even though we worked like across the street from where we lived. It was still like it would be a long walk. It would have still been like 7 or 8 blocks to get from the corner to the corner because it's like a really busy, big street um, to get to the mall. So he was driving back and forth, but his car had been on empty for a couple of days. In fact, the gas light was on, but he was making it work, and he was gonna like hold out until payday to put gas in the car. But he decided on this day, on Valentine's Day, that he would take this change that he found and go to the Walgreens that's like, a mile down the street to buy top coat for me for Valentine's Day. And on his way there, so after work, he gets in the car, and then on his way there, he runs out of gas, of course. And he doesn't have like hardly any money. He does happen to have like a couple of like dollars that he was going to use for lunch the next day in his wallet so he can get a couple of dollars worth of gas. So he walks to the gas station, and he like gives them the whole story, like tells them everything that's happening, and convinces the clerk to loan him a gas can to use and promises to bring it back. And the clerk eventually does after hearing all of this story. And so he gets gas, walks it back to his car, puts the gas in his car, gets his car to start, goes to the gas station, drops off the borrowed gas can, and then makes his way still to the Walgreens with his change, buys the top coat that I wanted, has the old top coat in his pocket with him so that way he can show it to the clerk at the Walgreens to make sure that he gets the right brand and type. And then still happens to make it home. Now, I've made dinner. It's sitting on the table. I'm waiting for him. I don't know where he is. During this time period, we are sharing one cell phone, and we don't have a ground line in our apartment. That's the only phone we have, and he has it with him because he was away at work. And that was kind of the guideline, like the person who was like leaving the house got to have the phone. And if we were both leaving the house, like we worked the same day or whatever, we would just like usually he would take it, but like we would decide like who had the most important pressing things. So I was really worried about him and had like no way to contact him. And he did make it home safe, and he had that. He was so proud of that top coat when he brought it in to me and gifted it to me for Valentine's Day. Oh, what a sweet guy. And we ate dinner. He was only like, I don't know, like 3 hours late. But it's terribly romantic. I feel like when you're poor, like really poor, you have to be more romantic because that's what you got. That's what you got. Isn't he a sweetheart? Now, vote for us and like, share, comment, follow. If you're not already following me, follow. All right. Thanks, friends, for joining me for my little story time today. Love you guys.